Basically, when I was, I think it was middle school or high school. I think I was going from middle school to high school or whatever, and they first came out, and it was such a boom in Korea with Big Bang, after Big Bang, because they came out after Big Bang, but they were like the Big Bang girl groups. I was not in Korea, I was in Toronto, Canada, because that's where I studied. They came out and it was such a boom. Like, there were no groups like 21. They were kind of that fierce girl power group that first came out. They were like that power group. And everyone was so interested by this, and everyone was so into their music and their lyrics and everything, and they set the trend. And I remember, like, they came out and they did this commercial with Big Bang, and it was called Lollipop, and that phone like became such a boom, and everyone had that phone, and everyone wanted to have that phone. It was a flip phone. It wasn't like iPhone days. It was not. I think there was, but it was very beginning of it. So they set that mood so nicely, and everyone loved what they were seeing, loved this kind of a shock. There were no groups like this. There were no groups that was so unique and so powerful. Each of them were so good at what they were doing, and they just fit right into each other, and like a puzzle. It was just the right thing. I remember going to their concert there. I think it was their first concert, and it was in Seoul. From Toronto during summer breaks, I come to Korea, and they bought tickets, and three of us went to 21's concert. It was my first time going to a concert, and they killed it. They killed every song, and I think by then they were putting out a lot of songs, and they had a solid set of songs. And I just remember going there, like, just having a party during that concert. And the only concerts I've been to were just their concerts were like that was such a good experience for me. And even after that, I followed them, and listened to their whole album, and just enjoyed their music and enjoyed their performances as a whole. As a fan, I always had this feeling of them not giving out albums. Like, they didn't have albums, and the next album that came out were very it was kind of that electronic vibe with they were like collabing with Black Eyed Peas and stuff. Those songs came out, and I even loved that. But after a while, what I felt was that they started to kind of lose focus a little bit with the album and with the whole group. All of a sudden, like, it kind of died down. And that's when I think CL kind of jumped up, and she started her own album, and she started her own thing. After that, some things happened. There were all these things that was happening. That's when I started to kind of lose focus on the group. Like, when is 21 coming out with an album, new album? They're still giving out a little bit of songs, but like, what's happening? Like, where's the album? Like, are they not gonna keep going? Like, what's happening? And then all of a sudden, they just dropped. They just said, oh, we're breaking up. And I was kind of really sad and really bummed out, and I really didn't know exactly what was going on. They didn't explain, and I don't think the entertainment explained. There might have been something from Korea that people saw, because I wasn't in Korea, I was in Toronto. It just naturally, they just died down, and they said, oh, we're gonna just, what do you call 해체 in English? Like, split. Yeah, they split up. The last song was the goodbye song, and that came out, and I honestly, I like cried. I literally cried, because I was so into the group, and I just loved this group so much that it kind of I don't know, it was almost like my memories of my like teenage life, my younger life. It was kind of, it was sad. It was breaking it was kind of like a breaking up with my past, that where I had so much fun, and listening to them, like that's when I really had fun. And after that, CL really started to do her own thing, and obviously I followed her because she, she's amazing. She's amazing as a performer and as a writer, just everything. So I started following her after that, and she was doing her own thing, and I think she was doing it really well, actually. And yeah, and then each of them started to do their own thing, like Minji going off on her own company, and Boom going on to her own stuff, and Dara, staying and doing her own other instead of music, she's going on to other fields and doing her own thing. And they were all successful, I think. They were all doing really well and really successful. So I was so happy that they were doing that, and that they didn't completely like broke down about what was going on. But you don't know what's happening, and I don't know what's happening. But like, seeing this performance, I just have this kind of a like, I'm relieved that they will somehow, someday, they will come back, and there will be a right moment. And I know, just like Big Bang, they had their moment and then they came back, and right now they have a comeback. I think they will have their own little place. It might not be right now, but I think it will be soon, and I wish it will be soon. But I think it just gave me a little relief. It just gave me a little bit of relaxed feeling that, as a fan, they are able to do this, and they can be back in any minute. But they have their own situations, and they have their own past and stuff. So I just know that them performing in Coachella means so much to the fans, to the Blackjacks, because it just gives us kind of that feeling of, it's okay. They're gonna be back. They are gonna be back. So yeah, so that's where I that was kind of my rant. That was kind of my rant about 21, because I was such a fan. And the water shaking. Why is the water shaking? Weird. And I love the fact that CL is killing it every single day right now with their songs and with her writing, and I just love it. I just love them.